it's me, and I'm really tired right now. You can see it in my eyes and in my face. But I'm kind of trying to force myself to stay awake so I can go to sleep tonight. Because I have a bat mitzvah to go to tomorrow with my cousin. But that's completely and totally besides the point. So excuse my exhaustedness that's in my face and in my voice and in my potential enthusiasm. So I'm sorry. But I need to run something by you guys because first of all, for those of you who may not know, I'm trying to potentially gear up for possibly starting up PLL again this summer, and I'm really hoping that could work out, so fingers crossed. But I'm doing a lot of you know, reintroductions in terms of characters. I have a video of all the characters, literally all of them, and who they are that I filmed, but I think I need to refilm at least one part of it, um, because I made an error, and so I didn't feel like just editing it because that's just a pain in the butt to do. So I'm probably gonna redo it, and warning, it's really long, and I don't think I'm going to break it up because I just think it's ridiculous to do it that way. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, it's gonna be like a, around an hour and a half long, and that's literally all my characters and me introducing them. And maybe there's a bit of description talk, but it's long. So I'm just warning you if you want to pause in between and take breaks, or if you want to watch my movie of a video and go for it, then go for it. Good for you. Um, but that's completely besides the point. This is always what happens, you guys. I make a video, I want to do something, and I have something specific I want to discuss, and it takes me a good couple minutes to get to my point. Jeez, Ashley, get it together. Anyway, what I'm trying to talk about is I want to run something by you, going into the idea that first of all, I'm 18 now, and second of all, Pretty Little Liars is a more adult themed show, and yes, I have tissue in my hand. I'm trying to make sure my dog doesn't eat it. I'm just gonna stick it under my leg. Um, and it's more of a older, adulter, teenager themed show. Um, it definitely holds darker elements in terms of storytelling, more mature themes, and for that matter, mature words. And I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of mature words and mature settings and all that stuff. And me being, I just tossed my tissue and it landed in my cup. What the heck? Okay, completely totally sidetracked here. It's gonna be um a bit of an issue for me, I think. I'm trying to find the right words to describe what I'm trying to relay to you. Bear with me, I clearly can't think straight. Um, it's gonna be harder for me because Pretty Little Liars is a more mature show, and there's more mature themes. There is cursing involved, and basically, I'm just asking you guys how you would feel if I was to do some, I want to say maybe minor, maybe a little bit more than minor cursing. I kind of want this to be some sort of a, first of all, I want you guys to tell me what you think in terms of a bit more of mature themes as well as possible cursing. Because first of all, I know a lot of the people in AGTube are around 11, 12, 13, maybe even younger than that, more around the 8, 9, 10 age. And the last thing that I want is to have you guys who are really young, I'm not saying you all are like immature and can't handle this and whatnot, because let's say in this day and age, people are learning things they shouldn't be, like, when way, way younger. Like, I didn't even know curse words existed until, like, middle school, okay? That's not the point. The point is, this day and age, kids obviously know about more mature things that, for instance, I didn't know when I was that age. I had no idea. I was so blissfully unaware. Point is, I want to see if you guys can handle it. I want to see if you guys think it's appropriate, if you can handle it, if you'd mind it, if you wouldn't mind it. So basically, I just want your opinions and your thoughts on possible mature themes. I'm trying to think of examples. Like abuse is one of them. Possible. Well, kidnapping isn't too big of a deal, but it would absolutely be a big deal in terms of the way I would do it. So abuse, kidnapping, maybe rape. Probably not. That's probably too much. Stuff like that. Obviously, there's going to be the whole blackmail slash torturing aspect in terms of this whole thing because that I'm not avoiding because that's the whole point of the show. They get tortured, they get blackmailed, they get threatened by this anonymous source. That's the whole point. So I'm not going to even ask your opinion on that because that's necessary. I'm not going to avoid that at all. But I'm talking about the bigger, more bad things. And I haven't really ever gone over any of this with you because I've never really known if you could handle it. And basically, I'm thinking that, first of all, I'm going to ask you. So I had a couple approaches on how to do this. I could ask you your opinions on it like I'm doing now, because I really, really care about what you guys think, and I don't want to expose anybody to things that, one, they don't know about, because I do not want to be responsible for that. Two, I don't want to, I wouldn't say ruin a YouTube or something. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I just don't want to mess things up somehow. Um, I want your opinions on that. I that was one of my approaches, which I'm doing right now. Another idea I had was to just do it and like plaster warnings all in the title, in the description, all over the place, and basically say, watch at your own risk, mature content, all over the place in caps. And if you guys watch it and you ignore my warnings and then you comment saying that it was too mature, or you couldn't handle it, or you didn't like it, or whatever, then that's too bad. Because first of all, it is my channel. I can do whatever I want, but since I love you guys and I don't want to upset anybody because that's the kind of person I am too, I don't want any of you to be upset and I want you guys to be okay with what I do. Um, and so I just basically am trying to get a feel of what you guys think you can handle, what's appropriate and stuff like that. So definitely let me know. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Because first of all, that's a really, really dark show. It's gotten so unbelievably dark. It scares me sometimes. Like I can't watch it alone anymore. That's how bad it's gotten. I don't think I would ever go that dark, but I would go relatively on the darker side compared to to a lot of the things that people do on YouTube. And yes, it's not with the AGs, it's going to be with the Barbies because the Barbies is PLL World and that's all that. So that's going to be with the Barbies. AGs are probably going to keep relatively rated PG, maybe PG-13 at the most, but I'd say the Barbies in terms of language, content, maturity, I want to say PG-13 to maybe even like an R, maybe not quite an R because it's not going to be horror. I'm not going to do any blood or gore. Granted, there are people who are going to die, but it's not like I'm going to drench my dolls in like red goo and be like, oh look, they're dead, or like chop their head off. No, 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 no. It's gonna, it's probably gonna be PG-13. It might be R in terms of cursing, but in terms of, and maybe because of the content I talk about, I don't think I'd actually physically um, show anything. It would be more of discussion and things that supposedly happened to them. I wouldn't ever show anything like that, ever. Yes, they might be kidnapped. Yes, they might be, pushed around a bit physically in terms of encounters with A. I don't think I'd ever actually show anybody actually being like abused by anybody like really close to them, for example. I wouldn't show anybody being raped. It would be something that I just say happened and it supposedly happened, but I never show it happening. If that makes any sense. I would never, ever cross any boundaries in terms of that. There would be no sex scenes, for example. None of that, okay? It's going to be PG or G in terms of things I physically show you, but in terms of things I may say or I may reference or talk about, that's a whole different story. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about this, because I don't want you to be uncomfortable, or I don't want to scare anybody, or I don't want to expose people to things they have never been exposed to before, because that is the last thing that I want to be responsible for. Okay, you guys are young only once. And yes, technically that's a whole YOLO thing, but no, I'm talking about you're only young once, okay? You're only a kid once. Once you're exposed to something, that's it, like it's over, okay? I don't want to be the one that's responsible for that, and I don't want you to go to your parents and or them overhear you watching something and then being like, what are you watching? Because I don't want you guys to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble myself. I just want to do something that everyone's going to enjoy and nobody's going to be uncomfortable by. And I just want to do everything. I want to give the show and my writing creativity the justice that it deserves. I want to see my limits in terms of you guys and what I'm able to do and then what I can't do. So tell me your feelings. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about this whole thing. Um, because what I'm getting at is, like I said, PLL is a very, very, very mature show, and I've always kept things G, maybe PG at the very, very most, and that was very rare where I'd slip up and say something. Then when I'd slip up, it would be minor. It would never, ever be something major. Ever. And I've never talked about anything that was too mature for you guys. And basically, I'm just testing the waters to see what you guys would feel comfortable with, to see what I'm able to do and what would be too much for you guys. Just let me know, okay? If you're uncomfortable, tell me. Just tell me, because I want to know, and I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, etc., etc. I just want everything to be copacetic. And for those of you who don't know what that means, long story short, it means I want everything to be okay, and I don't want to offend anybody. And I've said that before, but I'm dead serious. I just want to do one. I want to serve my writing creativity justice. Two, I want to serve the show itself justice and not make it all butterflies and daisies and roses. No, it's gonna be hard and it's going to be mature. I just need to know how mature I can get without you guys being all, oh my god, no, this is too much for me, I can't handle it. I need to know. Because before I go into this, I need to know. I just filmed, like last night, interviews with all the liars, and it's kind of in their nature, especially my liars, to use curse words in their language. Because first of all, since I'm 18, going into the fact that I'm an actual adult, I curse. I actually use curse words on a daily basis. I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat it and say, I might slip up every once in a while. No, I literally curse all the time. I don't have a filter. I curse in front of my parents. They don't care. My parents curse in front of me. My little brother's 15 curses. It's not something that I have a hard time not cursing sometimes. When I'm angry and I'm ranting to you guys, I have a really hard time not slipping up because I get really, really angry sometimes, and you guys know this because I've done lots of rants. But seriously, I just wanted to make sure that you guys are okay and you guys are comfortable, because you guys obviously are what matter most to me. But PLL is a darker show. Like I said, I just filmed that interview. The liars, especially Hannah herself. I'm not going to lie, sugarcoat it, and say I'm not going to be all cryptic. Hannah went off on a major rant because I asked her a question. She didn't like it. Um, yeah, in that one video, I don't even know how long it was. Put together, it's probably going to be at least 45 minutes. In that 45 minutes, I used at least every curse word in the book. Well, maybe not every. Lots of the common curse words in the book, at least once. So, and that includes the big ones too. So, I kind of also need to know that before I can put that up. Because if you guys are not okay with that, then I'm going to have to redo the entire video and make it kind of clean. And the first time I did Pretty Little Liars, it was a bit difficult for me to stay clean. Because Pretty Little Liars isn't exactly known for staying clean. They use a few certain words all the time, and I have a really hard time not using them in terms of writing for this. And I use substitutes, which doesn't sound as bad, and that's the point, you guys. I just need to know. I want to unleash my full potential as a writer and an actress, but I want to know how far I can go, because I know I probably can't go full potential with you. So just let me know. And me asking you a question turned into a 16-minute video, so I'm gonna leave. And I mean it this time. I'm not gonna take like 5 minutes to leave. I'm gonna leave. So seriously, let me know what your feelings are on all of this. Um, Tell me what you think is gonna be appropriate and what's gonna be too far for you. Um, Tell me if you think that I should just go for it, upload it, plaster warnings everywhere in caps, and then if people just don't like it, then that's their own problem because I warned you. Kind of like, for instance, Sam and Mickey. They say, mature audiences in caps, and they always warn people in like the description and stuff, and then like people always comment that they don't like them cursing anyway. Granted, they use bleeps sometimes, but I'm not gonna bleep because bleeping just doesn't apply. It just doesn't feel right in this particular instance. If I was gaming, for instance, then I think bleeping would be appropriate. But in terms of acting, that's just not gonna work. So, it would be full force. I wouldn't sugarcoat anything. I wouldn't bleep it. It would be what it is. I'd say it, and I wouldn't wince. I wouldn't regret it. It would happen, and it would happen a lot. So just tell me. Well, maybe not a lot. Just tell me. Just tell me what you think. And seriously, just tell me how you feel. Tell me what you think I should do. Tell me how far you think I can go. Tell me your feelings on the whole issue, scenario, whatever. Um, I don't know when I will get that other video describing the characters up since I have to redo that part, and I haven't 100% decided on how I was going to let it go out to you guys, whether I was going to do a bunch of parts or if I was going to put it into a gigantic movie, which is what I'm leaning on doing, because just separating it just makes no sense to me. It just seems pointless. It may make it easier for you guys to watch, but it's just not. It just doesn't work for me. It just seems ridiculous to me. So, take a break. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go. So just tell me what you think, how you feel, all that. And, yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.